Sports on a Thursday, Titans Thursday, A to Z Sports. We've got a couple topics to discuss today. Jadeveon Clowney back in the news. There have been new reports about a contract offer to Jadeveon Clowney that he turned down from the Cleveland Browns. What does that mean about the Titans' chances to land Jadeveon Clowney as Clowney Watch has continued? It's funny. It's Clowney Watch feels like it's going to be twice as long as quarantine at this point. But Jadeveon Clowney updates today. Also, salary cap implications with the coronavirus could change. The salary cap could go down.
Coronavirus. Go ahead.
Oh my God. I didn't know what the heck that didn't come through. It came through like a shriek noise. I didn't know what that was.
That's Cardi B. That's why I was shrieking.
Jesus. All right. But anyway, the coronavirus could impact the NFL salary cap, making it go down instead of up, which impacts two Titans. We'll talk about that. And then the magic bucket. We've got the magic bucket on this Thursday, Zach Sticker Day, which means I have to order a sticker for next week, and I got to remind myself of that. So Zach's looking around his table to see if he's got his sticker within arm's reach.
It is. It's close.
You're going to have to get like a go-go gadget arm to go get your sticker. So we're going to have a fun show today. Welcome in. Let's get this thing rocking.
Yeah, we are ready to go. That's another magic bucket we should add, that every time you say coronavirus, you have to say it in Cardi B. Coronavirus! You've got to say it in that tone. We should add that to the bucket. Afterwards, type that baby out and send it on in. We also we take your submissions. So slide into our DMs for our magic bucket. We do this every Thursday. We also every Thursday do a Titans Thursday, and that's what we're doing today. Make sure that you share the show before we get started, though. Bottom right corner of your screen, if you're watching on Twitter/Periscope, you'll see those three little dots. Tap that bad boy and retweet the broadcast. We need to pop up in your Twitter followers timeline. Also, Facebook. What's going on, Facebookers? Look, we're streaming to a lot of different services. Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, all the gamers out there. Also got IG Live going. But if you're on Facebook, please share the show. It's the bottom left corner of your screen. Share now to public. Share now to public. Sharing is caring, as we say on this show. More people are going to pile in over the next 5 to 10 minutes. And I'm going to take this time to gloat a little bit at my 4-1 Blitz 2000 record, which we will be traveling to the Superdome down in Nollins about 1 o'clock today. Try to make it 5-1. If you've been on this Blitz journey, which I know a lot of you have, it has been stellar, coming down to the wire, making big-time plays, bringing that safety up, and winning football games. So we want everybody to join 1 o'clock, Blitz 2000, the Tennessee Titans on the road to the Super Bowl, trying to go 5-1. See you then.
Yeah, my boy Chris Helms just says, quit blitzing the safety. We'll talk about that. Clyde says you almost lost yesterday. Well, in blitz, you almost lose every game.
What's the key word to that?
Almost.
There we go.
Yes. All right. A to Z Sports. Let's get it going. Welcome into A to Z Sports, powered by TennesseeTickets.com. I'm Austin Stanley. He is Zach Bingham. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at A to Z Sports. You like our Facebook page at A to Z Sports Nashville. We're Nashville's on-demand sports talk network. We go live every weekday morning at 8 Central Time. Got to thank our sponsors because they make it all happen for you guys and our business. TennesseeTickets.com, Titans 20. You can save $20 off your Titans ticket purchase at TennesseeTickets.com. If you want to go to an away game, type in the opponent right there. TennesseeTickets.com is where to go. Also, they will fully guarantee refund your money if no games are played or no fans can go. TennesseeTickets.com is where to go. Renters Warehouse, Nashville's professional landlords. Find out how much your home can rent for at renterswarehouse.com. Mandu, the Pulse of Fitness, a 15-minute workout, simulates 5+ hours in the weight room because of full-body electronic muscle stimulation. Mandu.com, your first workout is free. The Tucker Agency, Nashville's independent insurance agency, giving you relief by saving you an average of 20% on your personal insurance. TuckerTN.com and Calvin and Subtle. If you need new floors, if you've got old floors, old carpet, get it out of there. CalvinandSubtle.com for great hardwood floors and finishings. CalvinandSubtle.com is where to go. Zach, Clowney Watch is live. As we are talking to Jadeveon Clowney, it is May 28th. It is now a month and a half since free agency opened, and what we thought one of the biggest name free agents is still available. So how do you feel about doing a Clowney show this late into the game?
Well, how do I feel about it? I mean, it's starting to wear on me, right? And Clowney Watch is starting to wear on me like coronavirus. I'll tell you that. I want him to sign. I want this thing to get over with. He's dragging it along. I have my opinions on it, but a little bit of news came out yesterday that, again, more information, the better. But I feel like Clowney, everybody's got an ego. I got an ego. You got an ego. Everybody's got an ego. Clowney's got an ego. Oh, yeah. You don't think you don't have an ego?
No, I put my ego.
You have zero ego.
I leave my
ego. That is the biggest crock I have heard.
I'm being sarcastic. I'm being sarcastic. Okay, of course I have an ego. Everybody who talks for a living has a ginormous ego.
I really thought you were going to die on that hill. I was about to just
joking.
Shoot you dead.
I was joking. All right, but continue about the Clowney ego. Sorry to derail your thoughts.
Yeah, well, Austin's got a big ego. I've got a little tiny little
whose ego's bigger?
Of an ego that I'm looking for. But Clowney's got a $20 million ego. But yesterday, Austin, something came out. Adam Schefter reported, and we learned a little bit more about Clowney's ego.
Absolutely. So ESPN Adam Schefter reported that Jadeveon Clowney did turn down an offer from the Cleveland Browns, his biggest offer financially yet. So I'm going to read the quote from Adam Schefter, who went on ESPN Cleveland on the radio show. Quote from Schefter: "I think they've been the most aggressive team with him financially, and I just think he's balked at going to Cleveland for whatever reason. I think he's been hesitant to go because if he wasn't, he would have gone already because it's the most money. It's the richest offer on the table, and he hasn't taken it. So why is that? I don't know." So he goes on to say, like, of course, things could change with Cleveland, but it hasn't changed yet. So Jadeveon Clowney has turned down the biggest contract offer financially that he's gotten from the Cleveland Browns. What does that mean? Because honestly, I think we've thought about Jadeveon Clowney ever since he's put the $20 million a year label on himself. We've seen him as going to get the biggest money out there. Now, obviously, things have changed. He's been a free agent for 2.5 months. I do believe the coronavirus and lack of travel because of lack of physicals that are able to be had with Clowney have impacted his free agency drastically. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons why he's still on the market. Obviously, him asking that much money is another reason why he is still on the market, including the lack of sack box score production from the Seattle Seahawks last year as well. So I think now you're starting to see Clowney shift a little bit. Not a lot of bit, but shift a little bit. There are two priorities, right, in free agency. It's get the most money you possibly can because this is your opportunity to make bank for generations in your family to come. The second priority is go win a Super Bowl. Get to a contender, go to a contending team where you can actually have success on the field and in your bank account as well. So now have things shifted? Does he view Cleveland as a dumpster fire that the rest of the country does? Does he not want to go to the Cleveland Browns, even if they did offer the biggest money? Because if Clowney was all about priority number one and going to get the biggest payday possible, then he would have taken the Browns offer. But he didn't. So how does that impact the Tennessee Titans?
Well, biggest offer possible doesn't mean that we know the numbers. That's what Spawn asked. Does anybody have the numbers for Cleveland? So you can't assume anything, right? You'll make yourself look like an ass. Clowney needs to hurry the F up and decide I'm tired of hearing about it. That's what Pierre says. Jeff says, look, he would cost too much money. I would like him here, talking about Tennessee, if he's willing to come on the cheaper side. And Just a Fan says, this means he doesn't want to play in Cleveland. I disagree with Just a Fan 31. I think this tells me less about the Titans or Cleveland or any of the teams and tells me more about Jadeveon Clowney. That's what him turning off. We don't know the biggest offer. The biggest offer may be $14.5 million.
Here, I got something. This is from the New York Post. This said this is a guesstimate. All right, so but it's something. It's got some numbers in there. So
a guesstimate is not a report.
Okay, well, let me just read this from the New York Post, and we can all take it with a grain of salt, with whatever we want to.
What's the headline? Is that one of those things where you turn around the back of the newspaper and it's Clowney in a clown suit saying, "Wah!"
No, it says the headline is Jadeveon Clowney spurned the richest offer on the table from the Browns. So it says if Schefter's report is accurate, the Browns offer would be very close to his $21 million per year target, already having turned down offers from the Dolphins and the Seahawks at $18.5 and $17 million per year, respectively. So the Dolphins, reportedly, according to the New York Post, the biggest contract before this Browns offer was at $18.5 million. And then the Seahawks offered their biggest offer, according to the New York Post, at $17 million per year. So that's a little bit, I doubt I mean, who knows? It's the Browns, it's Jimmy Haslam, who didn't turn his mic off during an owner's Zoom. So who knows what Jimmy Haslam has up his sleeve. But I doubt it was a $20 million per year offer from the Browns to Clowney, because why wouldn't
you want to throw that New York Daily News and toss it in the trash?
New York Post. Don't Baja Burrito this thing. It's New York Post, not the Daily News.
Well, yeah. Well, anyway, I think that's a big assumption. My thing is what this tells me, and that's what we're going to ask you. What does Clowney turning down the Browns actually mean about the Titans' chances? This doesn't necessarily mean anything about the Titans' chances to me. This is all about Jadeveon Clowney. This is all about his value through his eyes. As we know, and you've said this, look, I said he'd rather sign sooner rather than later last week or the week before. I'm getting my weeks mixed up talking about damn Clowney. But you said, look, he should sit on his couch, right, Austin? He should lay back. He should let the market do what the market does. Have people bicker and fight over him. And that's exactly what he's doing. You got that right in the sense of he doesn't have to sign. Nobody's holding a gun to his head to sign. Here's what I think. Jadeveon Clowney feels that his value is greater than any other team feels that his value. Just because the Browns have the highest reported offer doesn't mean that meets or supersedes what Jadeveon Clowney thinks about himself. And that's the most important part of this entire deal. If the agent comes to Clowney and says, look, the Browns are offering X, and that's below Clowney's value in his own mind, it doesn't say anything about the Browns or the Titans or the Dolphins or the Seashells. It doesn't say anything about anything. It tells you that Jadeveon Clowney feels that his value is greater than what the Browns or what any team offered. I don't think
what can Brown do for you, right? What can Brown do for you? All right, so let's get you guys more involved and read some comments. What does Clowney turning down the Browns mean to you guys about the Titans' chances? What does Clowney turning down the Browns offer mean to y'all about the Titans' chances? But first, let me tell you guys about Mandu, the Pulse of Fitness 15-minute workout that will work your ass hard, and also that simulates 5+ hours in the weight room because it is full body electronic muscle stimulation. The science is real. The results can be real. It's also the safest fitness program you could possibly think of during the pandemic. A lot of your regular gyms are either closed, reopening with a lot of restrictions. Maybe you have to wear a mask. Mandu, it's by appointment only, so it's 1-on-1 or 2-on-1 at the most. You also, they sanitize everything in between every workout, and it is truly legit. And your first workout's free. So mandu.com, your first workout absolutely free. Check them out at mandu.com. Open now across the state.
A to Z Sports. Look, my safeties and blitz have been doing plenty of Mandu workouts leading up to today's 1 o'clock showdown against the Saints. Can't wait for that live streaming on all of these platforms. The question that we're asking you, though, is about Clowney. What does Clowney turning down the Browns offer mean to you about the Titans' chances? As Austin said earlier, Jadeveon Clowney, it was reported he turned down the biggest offer thus far of the Cleveland Browns. The Titans have been involved in the talks of this. We've heard John Robinson say many things about Clowney and also Mike Vrabel. Nothing of like big-time substance.
John Robinson's big quote about Clowney is nothing's imminent. You know, like it's – So
no. His big quote is that he's talked to the agents. That's the big quote.
They've had communication, but nothing's imminent. Yes, he's admitted to having communication and discussions, but nothing's going to happen. As Brent says, it means he's not signing with anyone anytime soon. Donald says it means nothing. If Clowney wanted to be a Titan, he would be by now.
Time out. Let's go to Donald's comment. What do you think about that, Austin? Do you believe if Clowney wanted to be a Titan, would he be one now?
Not necessarily. I just think this is such because we're still not, like players, to my knowledge, I don't know this for sure. Now the facilities are kind of opening back up. Can they travel and get physicals? Because that is an important thing with Jadeveon Clowney. The guy has had a surgery in the 2020 offseason. So you do have to check him out physically and get your doctors to look at him before you want to do anything. And Damon says the Titans need their hands on him to work out. I agree. It's a two-way street. Like the Titans might have had an offer out there, but things are probably slowing things down because of the lack of the ability to get a physical. And G-Man agrees with me. He's not signing until the NFL allows physical. Then once a positive physical, he can create some bidding wars. I truly do think the physicals are holding a lot of things up in this. I don't agree with Donald wholeheartedly saying if he wanted to be a Titan, he would be by now.
If the physicals were holding things up, don't you think that teams wouldn't be offering him?
Well, they're offering him, but there's always that like footer there of pending a team physical. So like
I throw that away. That means nothing. The fact that the Browns and all these teams have offered, and look, the Titans have probably sent a number there. Now we don't know what it is. But that doesn't – the physicals now mean nothing. Maybe a few weeks ago, maybe a few months ago, I guess. It means nothing. This is about greed, and this is about what Jadeveon Clowney thinks that he is worth.
Well, I think when answering the specific question that you asked me about Donald's comment, Donald says if he wanted to be a Titan, he would be by now. I'm not saying that black and white. I think the physicals make it super gray. Like that's how I answer that question, not just in general. But yeah, the physicals are holding things up. I think the comments I've read so many comments that have agreed with the physical part of things. Now, Snappin' Zoe agrees with Zach.
Yeah. Snappin' Zoe, give this man a like. He knows what's going on. He knows what's up.
All right, so what do you think? So you just think it means nothing?
Yeah, it's all about Jadeveon Clowney. Look, and I'll put this very simply, Austin. If I have a number in my mind that my worth is, so take example, $20 million. I feel that I am worth $20 million a year. If you don't offer me this, and I got a bunch of teams, and as you have mentioned, I got all the time in the world. I can sit back, relax, sip a Mai Tai on the beach, right? Have all these offers flood in. There's no reason there's a reason to wait and see if somebody comes up to my valued mark in my mind. I don't think, look, Jadeveon Clowney, the teams that are going after him, look, the Dolphins, I think, are turning things around. They got a brand new quarterback. They spent a ton of money in free agency. Tom Brady's out of their division. The Titans just went to the AFC Championship game last year. The Seahawks, who was just a part of that group, they went to the playoffs. They've got Russell Wilson. They're a Super Bowl team in the last decade. That's a value. Now you're talking about the Cleveland Browns. Now, the Browns have been a dumpster fire. But as we know, this Cleveland Browns team, because of the superstars they have, is not your average Browns team, right? They have gotten better every single year. Johnny Manziel and all the other quarterbacks that they've gone through, big-time question marks. But the fact that they have Myles Garrett, the fact that they have all of these players on the offensive side of the football, that's a big pull.
They had all those guys last year, and they landed with a top 10 pick.
Yeah, because of Freddie freaking Kitchens.
And so you think Kevin Stefanski's any better? Like
I think that he can do better than Freddie freaking Kitchens.
The problem is the Browns have been phenomenal on Madden for like the last 3 years, right? Ever since Baker Mayfield took over, if you're playing with the Browns on Madden, you're like, hell yeah, Odell, Nick Chubb, all these other running backs with a badass defense. That's great. But Madden's closer to paper than it is the regular NFL. And so the Browns have a lot of issues starting at the top. And that's why I think the Browns, whenever you look at a free agent going to the Browns, like Jack Conklin is going to make $20 million this year from the Cleveland Browns, the way his contract is structured. The Browns do things and act desperate. That's why they're always still going to be the Browns until they prove us otherwise.
They also offer money, and that's what Jadeveon Clowney wants.
And
I don't know how much money. I don't know how much money they offered.
Okay, well, I'll say this, because as we know, according to the New York Post, they referenced the Dolphins offering $18.5 million a year.
That was not a report.
Zach,
have you heard that report before?
Stop interrupting me.
Have you heard that report before?
I remember the Dolphins being involved really early on. Yes, I do. But the Dolphins are, again, 18.5 from the Dolphins, 17 mil per year from the Seahawks. I remember the 17 mil for the Seahawks. They're saying, Adam Schefter is saying the Browns offer was more than that. So I truly think that he does not want to go to the Browns, which makes me feel better that he would like going to the Titans, because the Titans are a better run organization than the Cleveland Browns, and they have a chance to win something important. And he's got familiarity with Mike Vrabel and the way that defense goes.
We also know the cap space of the Titans. We also know how John Robinson likes to go into the year with a little bit of cap room, because he's been hit with curveballs. When Malcolm Butler breaks his wrist in Carolina, he's got to go out and find players so the season is not a failure because he's just missing a position. So I do think that plays, and we've talked about that plays into effect of how much money they have. And look, Eli, I think on IG asked before, if they don't go get Clowney, what are they going to spend all the money on? Because they have allotted, they didn't go after Logan Ryan.
Right.
They sent him away.
And he's still available. Like, right. It was reported that the Jets wanted to bring in Logan Ryan, but that hasn't happened. They have an allotment of money, right? They're waiting to see if they are going to spend a huge, massive chunk of that allotment on Jadeveon Clowney. But I both think that we know that John Robinson, notorious. Look, he spent a ton of money on Malcolm Butler. He spent a ton of money on Ryan Tannehill this past offseason. Is he willing to spend another big contract on Jadeveon Clowney? I want to go back to Adam Schefter's quotes about Clowney turning down the Cleveland Browns. Here's Adam Schefter on ESPN Cleveland this week. Quote, "I think they've been the most aggressive team with him financially, and I just think that he's balked at going to Cleveland for whatever reason. I think he's been hesitant to go because if he wasn't, he would have already gone because it's the most money, it's the richest offer on the table, and he hasn't taken it. So why is that? I don't know. Is it not wanting to be in that city? Is it the lack of belief in the organization? I don't know what it is, but there's no doubt that Cleveland has offered the most money to date. For whatever reason, he's not been willing to take it so far. So I think he just doesn't want Cleveland, which makes me feel, again, I'll say it again, makes me feel just as confident as I have been on the Titans' chances to land Jadeveon Clowney.
I think that he does want Tennessee. I thought Tom Brady wanted Tennessee, to be honest with you. Really, the thing is, does Tennessee want you?
All right, so let's look. We haven't done this in a month, I think, maybe. I don't know. Let's take a quick poll. Will Jadeveon Clowney sign with the Titans? It's either yes or no for you guys watching. Will Clowney sign with the Titans at some point? Yes or no? Want to get your gauge on this. But first, Zach, tell people about Tucker Agency.
Yeah, Tucker Agency is here to save you money. Look, I don't know if Jadeveon Clowney's trying to save money by not signing with the Browns. I don't understand it. But I think that's what we're trying to talk through. One thing I do know is that the Tucker Agency can save you money in the next several months if you restructure your insurance. It's very easy. TuckerTN.com. Will Tucker owns the Tucker Agency, and his team will help you restructure your insurance, whether it's home insurance, renter's insurance, car insurance, life insurance. If you have an umbrella, he can manage that. And the average customer that goes to the Tucker Agency, they save 20%. That's a couple $100 extra bucks. That's big time in the coronavirus world that we live in right now. That could put extra food on your table. That could help you pay bills. Email Will directly. Like, I'm going to give you his personal email. All you have to do is say, I heard you on A to Z Sports. How can I save money on my insurance? His team's going to take a look at it. It's will@tuckertn.com. That's will@tuckertn.com. All
right, yes or no? Will Jadeveon Clowney sign with the Titans? We got a lot of comments I'm going to run through here. Also, don't forget TennesseeTickets.com for your Titans tickets. Titans 20 for $20 off Titans ticket purchases. TennesseeTickets.com. They will refund your actual money if fans are not allowed at games or no games happen. TennesseeTickets.com. G. Kaspala says yes. Steph Sob still says yes. Jacob, yes. John Michael Presley, yes. Snapping Zoe, yes. Alex, yes. Thomas on YouTube, yes. Stacy, yes. Nardo, 100%. Our first no. The comments just scrolled crazy on me. Our first no goes to John, who says a surprise team. Ramon, Kernick, yes. Tony on YouTube, no. Jeff says no. The Titans already have Landry, Beasley, Correa, Gilbert, and Roberson. Plus, they have Walker, who they don't know how good he will be. Frank with a no, but I hope I'm wrong. DJ, Kudarius, both yeses. Damon says yes. Willie, yes. Zach Goodman with a no. Chris with a no. Andrew with a no. There's more yeses than nos for sure. Dean Ward says nope. But I think yeses have been the most popular. Zach, I say yes. I say yes. I think a one-year deal at some point this summer, Jadeveon Clowney will sign with the Titans. That is just my gut feeling. Yes, a one-year deal with the Titans is going to happen at some point.
I think the hard part is John Robinson. I don't think this is a Clowney thing, right? It's a Clowney thing as far as the money. But as I referenced, Tom Brady, I think, wanted Tennessee. Tennessee didn't want Tom Brady.
Yep.
I think Jadeveon Clowney wants Tennessee at a certain number, but I think John Robinson in Tennessee don't want Jadeveon Clowney at a certain number.
Well,
right?
He wants Clowney at a different number, right?
Right.
Like that, yes. And yeah, I think Greg asked, or G-Man asked, only 1 year. Yeah, I think at this point, that's all Clowney's going to get is a 1 year, especially because of what the salary cap might look like next year. And we'll talk about that here in a few minutes.
Oh,
Zach,
man.
It's a yes or no. We're not talking percentages. It's yes or no. Flip a coin. Heads or tails, what you got? I say yes for Clowney. What do you think?
I think it would be between the Seahawks and the Titans. And last year, based on his discussions with the Seahawks, he's kind of been dragging them along for a while. I think eventually, if the longer this thing plays out, I do think it goes to the advantage of the Titans the closer it gets to the season, because I think he'll be chomping at the bit to play. Hopefully the horizon clears up and we think that the NFL is actually going to play on time, training camps, all that other stuff. So I will say yes.
Oh,
I think right now, because it is just kept churning along, my big question is the money, and I greed usually wins in these situations. And greed's on Jadeveon Clowney's side, not on the Titans side. I'm hesitant. I answered the question not with a lot of confidence.
Get off the fence, damn it!
But no, I was on the fence. I jumped the fence.
No, you were.
Look, homie, I don't.
You were walking. You were walking your way through it, trying to figure out if you wanted to keep balancing the fence or which way you want to jump. So we both say yes, which I think would be phenomenal for the Tennessee Titans if that were the case. A to Z Sports here live on a Titans Thursday. This is going to be an interesting conversation because, as I mentioned a few minutes ago with G-Man's question, the salary cap next year, highly doubt it will go up like previously planned because of the coronavirus. It will either stay the same or potentially drop maybe $30 million next year. That's from Adam Schefter as well earlier this week. So that makes John Robinson might have to pick between two Titans, two big names that have been emerging, Jayon or Jonnu. If John Robinson can only pick one, who should he prioritize? But first, Zach, tell people about CalvinandSuttle.com.
Yeah, Calvin and Suttle's here to save you on hardwood floors. Look, they've got luxury. They've got cost effectiveness. It's very, very easy. You give them a call. Give them a ring-a-ding-ding. Pick up your phone and give them a call at 615-448-6414. Calvin and Suttle can have brand new hardwood floors. You've probably been in your house for God knows how long now, right? I'm working from my house, right? Look, hardwood floors. If you need new ones, if your wife has just been saying, look, we need new hardwood floors in our basement, our bathroom, in our kitchen, in the den, the living room, They've got you covered. 615-448-6414. You call them. They come out, take an assessment. 1 to 2 weeks. They order the material and install. That's how quick it is. It's very, very cost effective. 615-448-6414 or online at calvinandsuttle.com.
All right, A to Z Sports, you're live on the Titans Thursday. Got the Magic Bucket coming up. So the NFL salary cap, according to Adam Schefter, could go down $30 million next year. Now, the Titans, as Zach has mentioned, they have about $18 to $20 million of cap space going into this year. And there are some pretty notable names that are going into the final year of their contracts with the Tennessee Titans. We've talked a lot about Corey Davis, Daquan Jones going into last year, Derrick Henry on the 1-year franchise tag, Vic Beasley's got the 1-year deal. Then you get to these two guys, Jonnu Smith and Jayon Brown. Jonnu Smith really busted on the scenes last year, made a lot of big-time plays, yards after the catch, helping out, really rounding into a full tight end. And then you've got Jayon Brown, who's been an impact player for the defense since he first stepped on the field as a 5th-round draft pick out of UCLA at linebacker. John Robinson might have to pick between the two. He might not have enough cap space to give a contract extension to. And let's remember this, Zach. It's become a July annual event where John Robinson has extended a Titans player going into last year their deal. It was Kevin Byard last July. The year before that, it was Taylor Lewan. The year before that, it was Jarrell Casey. So he's given those contract extensions right when they report to training camp. So I think Jonnu Smith, Jayon Brown, those are the two guys up for that. But who do you prioritize out of those two?
I actually think that this is easy. We talked a little bit about this before the show. We didn't say anything, but I am now more solidified in my answer.
By reading the comments?
No, I don't care whatever anybody, you know me. I don't give a damn what anybody else thinks. I have my own opinion, and I'm going to stick with it. It's Jayon. It really is. And it's very simple. You look at two things, the actual roster, and then you look at production. Those are the only two things you need to know. That tells you who they should re-sign. Jonnu, look, Jonnu so far, I think last year, a little bit of a farce. The big plays really overshadowed his true production. A.J. Brown took a ton of offensive, and obviously Derrick Henry took a ton of the offensive snaps and production. Jonnu Smith had glimmers of shine, right? He made some big plays, but nothing of the consistency of Jayon Brown. Plus, look at the roster. Who are you going to replace Jayon Brown with? What a great 5th-round pick, right? Rashaan Evans, in his own 1st-round pick, he's going to be a Titan for quite some time. But Jayon Brown, you're going to have to go out and sign another middle linebacker. Oh. And I know what you're going to say, and I hope you say this because it's going to be ridiculous.
What am I going to say?
Of the little that you know about the middle linebacking skills of David Long Jr., do not die on that hill.
I'm not dying on that hill, but you're talking about the Baltimore Ravens playoff game where Jayon unfortunately hurt his shoulder in the Patriots game. David Long played really well in the second half.
Ride and die with David Long.
In 1.5 playoff games in a season where David Long as a rookie barely played defense because of Jayon Brown's. I'm just saying, I feel better about David Long stepping in for Jayon Brown than I do about the Titans, like Anthony Ferkser, stepping in for Jonnu Smith.
No, you go get another tight end, right? Nobody's stepping in. It's a lot easier to get a premier tight end in football than a premier middle linebacker with the production, 100-yard tackler of Jayon Brown. So this is a different conversation.
Hey, let's understand this. Jonnu Smith is one of the best draft picks that John Robinson has made so far. One of the best. For when you talk about the round he was drafted in and for the production they've got out of him.
Jayon Brown was a better draft pick.
That's what I said. Jayon Brown is one of the best draft picks John Robinson has made.
I think you said Jonnu Smith.
I meant
Jonnu Smith.
I'm pretty sure I said Jayon Brown. Jayon Brown, one of the best draft picks that John Robinson has made in the 5th round in the production you've gotten out of him. Now, I think here's where I go with this. I think Jonnu Smith gets prioritized in the contract extension. I think Jayon Brown will be more expensive than Jonnu Smith. And with the cap situation where it
based
might
on production, yeah.
where with the cap situation it might be, I don't know if they can afford Jayon Brown, where I think they can afford to extend Jonnu Smith. Again, the key part is I think something will happen in July. So I think I like the Titans linebacking group. You have Rashaan Evans there. He's in our contract for 2 more years plus a 5th-year option that I think they will pick up. So you got 3 more years of Rashaan Evans on his rookie deal. Then you've got David Long, who's got 3 more years on his rookie deal. I like the way that is trending and he's developing. Jonnu Smith, their names are too close. Jonnu Smith
You did say Smith last
I know,
time.
I misspoke earlier. You guys caught me on that. Appreciate that. But Jonnu Smith has rounded in himself into a full tight end. He can block end of line. He can split out in the slot, out wide. He can play in the backfield. He can motion. Jonnu can do it all when it comes to playing the tight end. If Jonnu Smith is gone, you're going to have to replace him with multiple people.
No. It's a lot easier in today's game. And the impact of a tight end to help a quarterback, especially with the offense that the Titans are trying to build, you can go find a really good tight end that it's a game changer. Look, we had somebody mention your boy Nardo, mentioning more Hawkeye, right? You wanted to draft TJ Hawkinson. You could go out now if you don't decide to extend. And we don't know how these guys are going to play, right? That's going to be a big telltale sign of what the future has to come for these two individuals. But I think that you can go get a tight end to make right away impact where it's a lot more difficult. We saw Rashaan Evans. It took him a year and a half to get to where he is.
Well, and because of injury.
Machine, right?
Yeah, because of injury. Yes, for sure. And
tight ends, look, Dallas Goedert came in there and lit the thing on fire pretty quick, right? I mean, you can find a tight end in the first high second round that will change your offense because those are the type of tight ends that are out there now.
But let's remember this, because Malcolm Butler is going to have to be dealt with in the future. And then you've got to deal. But right, I know. And Corey Davis is probably not going to be on this team either. So now you're talking for 2021's draft, next draft. You have a high priority need at receiver and a high priority need at cornerback, even with Christian Fulton in the mix, because Christian Fulton just canceled out the Logan Ryan roster spot. So and then Adoree Jackson's on a 5th-year option. So you've got to address high draft picks with those two positions.
But Malcolm Butler off the books takes so much money.
Right. But, and then
like that's a moot point.
But my point is, looking down the line, there will be a lot of decisions that have to be made. And Frank Moe brings up, why not pay one and franchise the other like the Titans did with Tannehill and Derrick Henry? Well, because you might have to use the franchise tag again on Derrick Henry.
Because you can't franchise tag a tight end these days. They make too much money because of the emergence of George Kittle. And even when Gronk was playing, well, he still is now, which is kind of crazy. Go Bucks. But you sit there, you cannot franchise a tight end. He's not worth the value because of how much the value has gone up. So, and Derrick Henry, you have to save the franchise tag if you don't sign Derrick Henry to a long-term deal to have that in your pocket for next year. Now, Henry's going to hate that, which he should.
Yeah, as Frank brings up again, Henry's not signing a franchise tag twice. And if he does, it's going to be crazy money on a franchise tag. Well, the franchise tag next year for Derrick Henry would be 120% of what he's getting this year. So not super crazy money, but Derrick Henry might not have a choice but to sign back-to-back franchise tags.
Yeah, but in this situation, 100 times I pick Jayon over Jonnu when it comes to signing him. I can find me – look, let's not mistake this of the production. Jayon Brown each season, 52 total tackles, 97, over 100, 105.
Yeah.
As you've watched him play, he's made some big-time plays in key situations. Oakland comes to mind from last year of just one of them. You look at Jonnu Smith's numbers, and look, overshadowed by Delanie Walker's first year in 2017, had an opportunity last year 2 years ago in 2018, 258 yards receiving, 3 touchdowns, and only improved that number by under 200 yards this year. Had big plays. I don't want to discredit that. But overall, the production in today's tight end, I can go draft a first or a second, and Jonnu's a third, to give me more production than 439 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Well, but we also have to understand, like the Titans passing in the Titan Up podcast, they do a funny thing with this is Titans receiving yards are kind of like the Canadian dollar, that they don't make sense when it comes to the American dollar because they're not equal. So like 400 and whatever yards for Jonnu Smith with the Titans is more like, 650 or 700 with other teams. By the way, the stats put up.
Hey, we're not north of the border, eh?
But I do think that's pretty funny. But my point of why I think Jonnu should get prioritized is because I really like what the Titans have at the linebacker position behind Jayon Brown.
You don't know a damn thing about David Long Jr.
Zach, I saw David Long Jr. as a rookie, green rookie, play a game and a half in the playoffs at a very high level with Jayon Brown out. So that's what I know about David Long, is that he rose to the occasion in the playoffs when he had to.
Yeah, when else did he play?
That's my point, is that he didn't have a lot of playing time in the regular season, and then he played at that such of a great level in the playoffs when he had to.
Squirrels find nuts. I need squirrels to gather more nuts,
Zach,
to build a whole household.
We're not talking about David Long taking over for Jayon Brown this year. We're talking about 2021 David Long. I think David Long is a better full-time possibility than Anthony Ferkser or Michael Pruitt as a full-time possibility.
We're talking about replacements.
That's what I'm saying.
You don't want, but you go out and you can't just go find a middle linebacker that is going to give you right out of the gate the production that
they did that with Jayon Brown.
You can go get you a tight end that gets much more production than Jonnu Smith has ever gotten in his career right out of the gates.
Bobby says, Bobby's agreeing with me. We know more about David Long than Zach's rookie tight end replacement. Very true. And you've also got Rashaan Evans right there to help along David Long or whatever. Like Rashaan Evans is a really good player.
Bobby, look at the tight ends drafted in the draft. They come out and they make plays. High tight end draft picks are they're good value. They are. They're good value. I'd like to go through the last several years of tight ends that have been drafted. Probably pretty good value.
Well, and they got really good value with Jayon in the 5th round. I mean, I think both of these players deserve contract extensions. And you've also got Jonnu Smith working out with Tannehill the last 2 months down there in Florida. And this is the first offseason where Jonnu Smith is not coming off of a knee surgery. I think Jonnu is going to be an absolute beast this year, and as is Jayon. I love both players. Both players have speed, both players have versatility, and both have production. So you want to sign both of these back, but as we've talked about a lot this offseason, it's draft, replace, repeat. And which of the two would you have to draft, replace, and repeat? I'd rather draft and replace and repeat the linebacker more than the tight end.
Right now, I know a lot more about the production that Jayon Brown is going to give me next year than I do about Jonnu Smith. Now, let me say this. That could change if Jonnu comes in here and lights the damn thing on fire and has a stellar year. That could happen. I don't want to sit here and just nip that in the bud. But right now, the answer is Jayon Brown.
All right, A to Z Sports here live on a Thursday. Let's get to the Magic Bucket, Zach. Excited about our Magic Bucket here on a Thursday, so get ready for that. But first, let me tell you guys about renterswarehouse.com. They're the professional landlords in the Nashville area. Renterswarehouse.com is where to go to find out how much your home can rent for, because there are alternatives to selling your home after you move. You can hang on to that home, build equity in that house for long-term wealth, and also create an extra cash flow for you and your family. If you own Airbnbs, don't worry. Maybe they're sitting there empty, vacant because of the pandemic. Well, Renters Warehouse can temporarily rent out your property. No binding contracts with that rental property either. So you can rent it out for 3 to 4 months. And then when things get back to normal, go back to being an Airbnb and make the most money that you possibly can. Renterswarehouse.com is where to go.
A to Z Sports. Make sure you check out 1 p.m. today. NFL Blitz.
Time out. Is that 1 p.m. or are you sliding it back because Taylor Lewan and Roger Saffold are talking at 12:45 and 1 today? So more like 1:30?
I'll have to figure that out then.
Okay.
I tweet out. You should like all this stuff too. I tweet out, I Instagram and Facebook a little primetime preview of what the day's activity and blitz are. So make sure you tune in. Plus, if you're not live notifications are on, it really shouldn't matter when I go live, when Mac 9 and Eddie George strap on the helmet. Make sure your live notifications are on. I will send out a little preview here in a couple hours of the actual time.
Yes. All right. Magic Bucket Thursday, Zach. Before we get this thing going and I put my hand and draw our fate, what is your new sticker this week?
You know what? I'm going to have to go. I got to represent.
You have multiple sticker options.
It's a pan personal. I got to go pan personal on this. I've got 2 pan personals, and I've got one that both of us would like. I'm going to go pan personal. I got to go with my favorite player of all time. It's a close one between this player and another player.
Can I guess?
Yeah, I would be surprised if you got this right. I would be impressed. But this is my favorite football player of all time.
I want to say it's Derek Brooks.
And you would be, and you know how I said this is very close to the other player? That is one of my 2 players, but it is not my singular favorite player.
Is it John Lynch?
No, it is not John Lynch.
Is it Mike Allstott?
It is the A-Train, Mike Allstott. You see that bad boy? Got to give it to both cameras.
He's faceless. It's
yes,
kind of creepy.
Well, he's faceless because probably copyright.
Yeah.
They'd have to pay him money, and I got this off some like rando sticker site. But the A-Train, right? Allstott up the gut. Coming at you. That's got to be represented on the bucket. Look, I know we got a lot of Titans fans in there, but Mike Allstott's the greatest fullback of all time.
See, the problem is we're gonna need a new bucket. I think there you go.
Bucket, you can put stickers over stickers. You can put sticker on the bottom of the bucket. We got plenty of room.
I think right there, that's your spot for Mike Allstott above the FGL and in between Kobe and above McCaffrey. So there you go. There. All right, Zach, there's your
somebody to hit.
Okay, so I am drawing for me this time first. So here we go. My Magic Bucket entry.
I know which one I want for I know.
Mine, you've already done this, and I did not answer this, but I did have my answer ready. What would be the absolute worst name you could give your child? And this was fun when you did it. What was yours? Yours was like
Gertrude.
So the worst name that I think I could name my son, and I know you have a buddy named this. I think Stuart Stanley sounds so gross. I think that would be a terrible name if I named my son Stuart Stanley. Stu Stanley sounds like the biggest nerd you've ever come across.
I mean, I think there's so many worse names.
Stu? Then Stu Stanley?
Do you know any Stewarts?
No.
You don't know any Stewarts.
I don't know.
I got 2 pretty good friends that are Stewarts.
Yeah, Stu Stanley just sounds so gross. I don't like. I like alliteration, but that's too much. Like the STST. I'm not about Stuart Stanley.
I just think that there's worse names. I actually thought of a worse name or Gert. Yeah. Well, see, this is kind of what's off the. It's off the playing field. Like you can't go like sexual connotation.
Yeah.
Like that's setting your son or daughter up for complete and utter failure. Right. I mean, that ultimately Stuart Stanley's not that bad of a name.
I think Stuart Stanley's bad because I don't like Stu. I don't want because you always have to think about like what is the shortened name going to be, and are you okay with that? And I am not okay with Stu. Do you spell it like the food stew, like STEW, or do you spell it with the STU? And then you're going to be and then like Sawyer brings up, you're going to get like if he's Stuart Little when he's a little kid. No, Stu Stanley Gross.
Yeah, okay. It doesn't sound great, but it's still not the worst name ever.
For me, because it's my son, I am staying so far away from Stuart.
Gertrude Bingham? You think
That's bad? Yeah, well, you get
that makes no sense. Like,
yeah, but Gertrude's not like Gertrude is not like a modern name unless you're a power lifter in Russia or Germany. Like that's Gertrude. But yeah, Mark Beach says Stu has a pop collar. Stu, I don't like Stu Stanley. That's not working.
All right, go ahead and pick for me.
All right, here's
rip that up. Let's say we're not doing that.
That one is now retired for sure. Okay. The next magic bucket. All right, Zach. I've done this, so I get to rip this up as well. Now we get to time you to see how long you can hold your breath.
Ooh, what did you get last time?
I think I got like just north of 30 seconds, like 35, something like that. I don't remember specifically. It was around 35 seconds.
Ooh, I like this.
All right, so I'm going to have to, because I don't have my phone is being used for IG Live, I'm going to have to find a stopwatch on my computer.
You can easily, yeah. Louis is right. You're right. It was 39 seconds.
39 seconds. That's what I got.
It was like 38 point something, but it was 39.
All right. So I got to find a stopwatch.
So here's what we'll do. Who do you think will I beat 39 seconds?
Well, now you've got something to gun for, which is good.
No.
Like
no, I don't know. Sometimes I like setting the bar because I set it so high.
I like having something to shoot for. I like having achievable goals where it's just wide open. So my vote, I believe you're going to beat mine just because you have something to go for.
No, maybe I don't know.
Your lung capacity sucks. I don't know.
It could. I mean, I have no idea.
Titans for Life says, yes, you'll get 41 seconds. I have my stopwatch ready. Are you ready, Zach?
Yeah, hold on 1 second. Let me pin this comment and then I will give you a 3, 2, 1 start countdown. Okay. Right. And look, honesty rules. I'm not going to sit here and
breathe out your nose. Right. Yeah. Now, lucky, like when I did it, I couldn't breathe out my nose anyway because of allergies. So I was at that. I really couldn't cheat.
Okay.
All right. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. All right, now I have to provide the entertainment. He's at 5 seconds here. So will Zach beat 39 seconds of holding your breath? I will say, holding your breath when you know people are watching you and you're not like swimming underwater or something like that is a lot more difficult when you don't have something to do and all you're thinking is about how much time has passed on that clock. And I'm not going to give Zach any more help because I didn't get any more help. So I didn't want to give where he's at or what he thinks he's at because the clock is ticking. And can Zach hold his breath? He's gone with the eyes closed, which probably helps quite a bit. He's still going. So when is Zach going to feel that pressure in his brain of you've got to breathe? When does that come into play? Zach is still going strong. He hasn't even exhaled any of the breath, which is legal. So Zach's still going. Still going. You have absolutely crushed what I did. So you've got better lung capacity. I don't know what that means for you, but you've got better lung capacity than I do. You're still going. It's getting harder. You're getting shaky. Let me know when you're done. Still holding it. Crushing my record. All right. You got 120. A minute 20.
That's setting the bar high.
A minute 20. That was very good. You doubled mine. You absolutely doubled mine. So props to you.
I could have gone a little bit longer, but not much.
But there was no point for you to go longer because you blew mine out of the water. Dom says Zach is faking.
And Dom, if you know anything about me,
there's nothing fake.
I don't fake. I don't lie. I'm not going to do that. I have too much pride, and honestly, I have too much respect for Austin to completely lie and do that. That was true. I would have passed out to beat 39 seconds. So
there you go.
That's all fair.
Johnny, applause from Chad there on YouTube. Johnny asked about what you're doing on Blitz later today. You will jump on. Who do you play today? The Saints?
Live in New Orleans on the AstroTurf. This is, I don't even know who the quarterback. Here's a good trivia. 1999 New Orleans Saints quarterback.
Oh, man. I think I have a guess.
Oh, hold on one second. Because I think I know his number, so I can fact check this. 1999.
Rob says Archie Manning.
Well, I know for a fact that Ricky Williams is on the team. So you will see Ricky later today, 34, and he's a big boy.
My guess is Aaron Brooks.
Aaron Brooks' number was number 2.
I believe so.
It's not him.
So who is the Saints?
I believe – I don't think this is right because it says it's Jake Delhomme.
Let's see. 1999 season for the New Orleans Saints. They were 3-13. They were awful. Their only draft pick was Ricky Williams. That's still funny to me. Yeah. So here was
young Jake Delhomme.
Here is the Saints 1999 quarterback depth chart. You are not ready for this. I promise you. You are not ready for the names I'm about to say. Starter, Jake Delhomme. Second string, Billy Joe Hobart. Third string, Billy Joe Tolliver. then fourth string, Danny Werfel. They had 2 Billy Joes at quarterback. That is unheard of.
So Jake Delhomme, I see Jake Delhomme's number is 9 his first year. It may be Billy Joe Hobart.
So Billy Joe Tolliver actually led the Saints in passing that year. He had 1,900 yards and 7 touchdowns with 16 interceptions. So you might be able to force some turnovers today. Billy Joe Hobart actually was second. They actually played all 4 quarterbacks. Unbelievable. The 2 Billy Joes were actually the main starters, and then Jake Delhomme played in 2 games. So that's pretty wild.
Right. So, look, I will preview what time I'm going live on Blitz today, playing the Saints, trying to go and move my record even further along than it already is. If I can get to 5-1, I maybe have a stranglehold over the AFC Central, contending for first-round bye. Who knows? But I'll preview that later. Appreciate you guys going along for the ride.
This is my favorite thing about Blitz 2000 is because D's Bonards on YouTube says, wasn't Ricky Williams a Dolphin? It's because like this was in 1999. Like Ricky Williams, yes, he did play for the Dolphins, but he was
drafted. Wait, what's his name again? Huh?
D's are Bonards.
Deezer Boners. Deezer Boners. Very creative name for Deezer. Yeah, I know. It's a throwback. And you know what? Thanks for nothing yesterday of the advice of blitzing the safety because that won me the football game.
Zach, you lead the NFL in return yards because you give up so many touchdowns. Like you realize that.
I also lead my division, so you can put a stock in it.
I get that.
You don't get it. You don't get it because if I was 1-4, 1-5, I think you'd have something to stand on.
You're not perfect, though. Just because you're 4-1 doesn't mean you're playing perfect. I truly think
playing perfect. I lost. My only loss is on one singular play when the opponent was on fire.
No, you lost that one earlier when you turned the ball over.
I lost on one singular play. If I would have stopped him, I would have won the football game.
Right, but you gave him a big play. Zach, yes, you gave up a big play to get them down there, and you gave up that.
It's blitz.
You gave up that big play because you blitzed the safety when you shouldn't have.
I also won yesterday.
Let me say this.
I did.
Let me say this. This is. I truly think this will help you because
I don't need your armchair quarterback.
You can blitz. I'm not armchair quarterback. I'm armchair
Will you
DC.
admit that yesterday's game, I blitzed the safety, helped me win?
But
will you admit that?
Yes, you made a couple plays late that helps.
Because I did what?
Because you blitzed the safety late. Now, I will say this. I think for the majority of the game, you're controlling the safety, and you're also, which either you're blitzing the safety or you're trying to manually cover, which is very difficult. You should have your player controlled on the D line, so you let the CPU play coverage, and then you can switch to that player when they're in position instead of trying to cover man-to-man while the camera angle is changing. I'm just saying, you would play better defense if you started each play controlling the defensive lineman and not the safety, unless you are blitzing the safety. That's all I'm saying. I think that would help you. That's good defense. That's good advice.
Well, get your popcorn later.
Titans Torch says that's why Zach's so good at holding his breath, because he's always holding it when he's playing defense late in the game. Great comment there on IG Live.
And we'll send her out on that. I'll see you guys in New Orleans later today.
All right. Thanks, guys, for watching. See you IG Live. Peace.